Austin Butler is confirmed to play Patrick Bateman in the American Psycho reboot directed by Luca Guadagnino. And I couldn't be more disappointed. It's not just because he got the role in particular. I just thought maybe somewhere along the way, this reboot is going to fall apart. It's not going to happen. But they are determined to make this happen. They are also stressing the point that this is not a reboot. This is not a remake of the 2000 film that everyone loved. It's a new adaptation of the Bret Easton Ellis novel. So for any of you people out there who are media illiterate, just remember, books are a thing. Those things with pages that have words on them. So you can't complain that this is a reboot, that it's a bunch of slop, because it's not a reboot, technically.
That's why Hollywood has no future outside of IP.
I just can't, I don't have patience for it anymore. But Austin Butler is poised to star in this new adaptation. While there had been rumors that Jacob Elordi was being eyed to play Patrick Bateman, that casting did not come to pass. Elordi and Butler have something in common, having both played different versions of Elvis in movies by Sofia Coppola, Priscilla, and Baz Luhrmann, Elvis, his biopic, respectively. Neither of those guys, neither Jacob Elordi nor Austin Butler, were cut out to play Christian Bale's role. That's Christian Bale's role. Just stop trying. It's just so tiresome.
Should have just gotten Jason Bateman to play Patrick Bateman as old.
No more slop.
Apparently, okay.
I'm gonna start picketing outside of the studios.
This is the one that finally.
No more slop.
I love the slop, but in this case, don't even like. This is like the slop I like is just like I said. I loved Red One, which is Hollywood holiday slop, but it's like original slop. It's big budget CGI slop. This is material slop, property slop. It's a different type of slop altogether.
I mean, aside from just the role of Patrick Bateman, you couldn't find an actress today who could do what Reese Witherspoon did in American Psycho. You cannot find that anymore. The talent is non-existent. So here were some of the reactions that I saw on Twitter to the announcement. One said they are wokeifying American Psycho by making Patrick Bateman ugly. I don't know if Austin Butler could be described as ugly, but he's definitely no Christian Bale, and he, as you said, Brett, needs to bulk up for this role.
Like, as far as like his facial structure goes, if he puts on muscle and he fills out his face, he actually probably will look more the part than any of the other actors that were described.
Yeah. He also has a reputation. After playing Elvis, he started doing interviews on red carpets, still using the Elvis accent, speaking to the media in this weird put-on Elvis accent. So somebody responded saying, isn't this the guy who's took his method acting way too seriously with the Elvis movie? Do we really want him method acting Patrick Bateman?
I mean, that could be dangerous for all of any woman on set, or any woman he gets interviewed by could be potentially dangerous for them.
Kind of scary, but huge missed opportunity here. If you were going to reboot American Psycho and recast him at all, it should have been Armie Hammer, obviously.
Yes.
Armie Hammer would have been such an easy slam dunk for so many reasons, but we don't live in a brave enough world right now.
I did see that
Imagine the press cycle. It just would have been a moment, a cultural moment, and they were too scared to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Armie Hammer would have taken it, right?
I mean, I don't think it's actually about being scared. I think it's about they're not going to cast it. Maybe back then they could risk casting somebody who's less known, and that's not even true of Christian Bale. Christian Bale was already known, but they're not doing that not in the age of IP, not in the age of somebody being like the stewards of a property. It's no longer a movie of a beloved book, and now it's a movie of a beloved movie.
Right, which is why even if saying it's based on the book is a cope.
It's a cope because most of the people did not read the book, so they're not going to cast somebody. It's like all the time. Whenever we have these like fan castings, I always fan cast great TV actors that I know will never get the role because they're not going to give it to a television actor.
Well, that was another aspect of this casting that people were bemoaning on Twitter.
Yeah.
People are just tired of seeing the same faces repeated over and over in every single project. And Austin Butler is one of those people.
Yeah, him, Timothée Chalamet.
Him, and then there's
Jacob
Barry
Elordi, Paul
Keoghan,
Mescal.
Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal. All of these up-and-comers are not actually up-and-comers. People want to see an unknown face. And that was the same conversation for the casting of the Beatles in the Beatles movie that's coming up. It doesn't take into account that when the Beatles were first rising to fame, they were extremely young, right? So they're casting all these men who are like in their late 20s, early 30s, and it makes zero sense.
I mean, really, they should just stop making movies about musicians. I hate them.
Yeah, did anyone like care about, you know, the Rocket Man movie?
They never do good.
Did anyone care about the...
That's actually me coping. I don't know if any of them do good. I just don't care for them.
There was one about...
The Bob Dylan movie's coming out soon.
Bob Dylan is coming out. Yeah, there's Timothée Chalamet playing Bob Dylan. And then... Who is it? Rami Malek played...
That one did fairly well.
Was it...
the one about
Freddie
Queen.
Mercury?
Yeah, the one about Queen did well. Yeah, about
Did
Freddie
it?
Mercury. Yeah.
Did it, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Who played Elton John, though? I don't even remember at this point.
The point is there's always a new, like every week there's some announcement.
And there's
for
a David
casting.
Bowie one, right?
There's always some announcement for a casting of some famous musician who's having a biopic made about
They're still
them.
working on the Michael Jackson one starring his nephew.
Yep.
Which is kind of unsettling,
Yep.
in my opinion, but...
Yeah,
whatever.
I just I don't really think that this is going to work the way. But at the same time, we could be completely wrong. Maybe this hits for a different generation if they actually adapt it differently. I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
Did you ever watch the Motley Crue movie that had
No.
Machine Gun Kelly in it?
No.
I've heard good things,
Okay.
but I haven't watched it. My take is essentially just leave American Psycho alone.
Yeah.
Leave all of these beloved movies alone. Come up with a new idea.
No.
This is a recipe for disaster. It always is.
Is there a way in which you could, like, if you said the Army Hammer one's the only one that could possibly work?
Only because it would make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, not because I would even actually care about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch it if Army Hammer were playing Patrick Bateman, just for the memes.
Are there any
But, like,
stories that have been made that you think actually could have been done better and should be adapted? It's kind of a hard question to put on someone.
But then I wouldn't...
I know a lot of people say that is true about the Atlas Shrugged movies.
I haven't seen them, so I don't know.
That they were really bad.
I mean, okay. Chronicles of Narnia, those movies, they weren't great.
Okay.
Just being honest, they weren't great. So, but I also don't want them to remake it.
Yeah.
I don't want Greta Gerwig on top of that.
Like
I don't
I
want
said,
that.
that's how I felt about Dexter. I was like, this didn't need to be made. The original TV show's great.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, first live action attempt by M. Night Shyamalan, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you need to try again. The Netflix show sucked.
Yeah.
So just leave it alone. Just stop. Stop ruining everything that we like.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think I actually did. I did a video earlier today that's going to come out Wednesday, I believe, about the failure of Craven at the box office, making the least out of any Sony Spider-Man movie. Without Spider-Man, made like $11 million domestically, $26 million total. It made less in its worldwide opening than even Morbius did just domestically. And my question to the viewers was like, look, there is a diminishing return on all of these superhero movies. We could make the argument that these failed because they're Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man in them. But in general, there's apathy around superheroes right now, which is the case du jour. Outside of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is an anomaly, what is the next genre of movie that will actually like ignite any type of interest from the audiences? And I don't know what that was. I thought maybe, perhaps, if they played their cards right, the idea of like Warhammer, or the fact that the D&D movie is one that like nobody went and saw, but everybody seemed to like.
Well, did it make a profit?
It didn't make.
At the end of the
It didn't
day?
make. It didn't really make the money that it needed to. But I feel like maybe tabletop gaming adaptations are what, like, they've tried with video games forever. It's hit and miss at best. What is the next genre of IP they shall pillage to turn over and try to make into films. And
Warhammer's already a TV show on streaming,
but it's not
in development right
yeah,
now.
but
So
I'm
like
saying
that's
that-
not even going to make any money.
we don't know about that. Like, I don't know. Like at this
How
point,
does an Amazon Prime TV show make money?
I mean, that's based on their
Make it
value.
make sense to me.
That's their valuation on like what it adds to the brand by
Yeah.
owning the property and stuff like
It's
that.
just
That's very
totally
different
speculative.
than box office and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.